And also, I just think she's a cautionary tale, just in terms of how all this great glitz and glamour of the Capitol is not necessarily what you think it is. That it can go horribly wrong, just like, which I found great parallels to our society of people who have too much plastic surgery, where sometimes not only do you start to look ridiculous, but you can really even have health defects from that level of work. So I think it was important, but also remember that Tigris is also part of the rebellion, and I guess a confidant of Plutarch to some extent. So she's very, very useful to them, and if maybe there's something I'm forgetting, but I remember her hiding them and helping them. Is there something more?
No, she hides Squad 451 for a while in the cellar of her store. She runs a theme underwear shop, and she sells like fur underwear. I don't really remember exactly what all she sells. I just remember that. But like you said, Adam, I think it is a very good parallel with, plastic surgery related stuff in our world today, because she ended up altering herself so much that she became repellent even to other Capitol citizens, so much so that she was relieved of her stylist duties. She used to be a stylist for the Hunger Games, and she was kind of forced to leave that because I guess I always read it as she looked just so freakish that they didn't want her like in a public light. But her tale is her. This isn't a pun. Her tale is rather sad, and I think that happens in our world today. A lot of celebrities will keep getting plastic surgery, and eventually, they become so they just end up looking so unhuman or so strange that their careers are affected, unfortunately. So the only fan favorite that I have seen discussed for Tigris is Catwoman, and I'm not talking about like the Batman Catwoman. I'm talking about that woman. Her name, her real name is Jocelyn Wildenstein, or maybe it could be Wildenstein, but it's probably Wildenstein. And if you don't know who Catwoman is, she's a woman who became famous for altering herself surgically to look like a cat. And she looks, she looks very odd. And I've actually seen people suggesting that she play Tigris. I don't think that will happen, and I've also seen a couple of people, you'll recall there was that Rebel Wilson Mockingjay rumor a couple of months ago, and some people have said, well, maybe Rebel Wilson was up for Tigris, but I haven't really seen any other fan picks. Do any of you guys have any suggestions, or
Voldemort.
any, did you just say Voldemort?
Yeah. Yeah, the nose is perfect. The nose thing, yeah.
Yeah, they can they wouldn't have to use any makeup or prosthetics. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Ellie,
I found a guy on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I found a guy on Google, Larry the Leopard Man. Now I know he's a guy, but there's this wonderful trend of people performing in drag lately, and I think he doesn't really need to say much. He could just show up and. Yeah, so go Google Larry the Leopard Man.
Well, I mean, I don't see any reason why Tigris couldn't be a man.
Right, yeah.
Dressed
totally be
trans.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on who should play Tigris or what the actress? I've seen a couple of people have talked about, I think Rebecca from Victor's Village mentioned that she always envisioned Tigris as being kind of lithe and lean, like with a dancer's body. Do you think that's important, or could she just kind of look like pretty much anyone as long as she has the cat face?
Yeah.
She just needs the cat face?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I always kind of pictured her as, like, larger. I don't know why.
So maybe Rebel Wilson would be.
I don't know. I feel like people in the Capitol drink too much of that liquid to be larger.
Well, I mean, like, maybe she'd be muscular. She could be, like, muscular and, like, gladiator, like.
Yes,
she needs to be
that would actually
very sea lion. Like, not just her face. I feel like her whole body just needs to be very sea lion.
Yeah, I see her as someone who spends a lot of time, like, tries to alter her whole body to kind of match, like you said, a sort of lean, sinewy figure. But I can also see her being someone who kind of, like, failed at making her body look that way. Like, you know, when you see people who, like, are clearly, like, dieting or trying to wear, you know, like, push-up bras or tiny jeans and, like, look, and it just doesn't quite work. Like, they look like what they think is an ideal of beauty, but still looks kind of grotesque. I could see something like that, like the body kind of matching the face, where there's an intent, but it doesn't look the way that she envisioned.
I think that's a great approach. Although the part of me doesn't, you know, I don't know if they're going to put this much thought into Tigris. It would be nice if they did. But Kait, do you have any thoughts on Tigris? Who could play her? Who should play her?
I don't have like an exact picture. Like, I can't just throw in a certain actress to this character in my mind, you know, like I can't connect the two, but it has to be someone who's really good at playing weird as if they really mean it. Like, because she's not necessarily comedic. She really thinks that this is the way that she is supposed to look and the way she's supposed to be, so it can't always be, like, funny. But so it has to be someone who's just really good at playing an odd duck. Or
Emily from Down with the Capitol tweeted this earlier, and I saved it because I really liked her comment. She said, and she's Worst Games on Twitter, for Tigris, I think it would be cool if an A-list actor took the role, a real celebrity playing a washed-up Capitol celebrity. And I think that's a kind of a cool idea because the thing is, I mean, I don't know if any A-listers would do it, but there would be so much, I'm assuming, like makeup and prosthetics involved that, I don't know, I think it would be kind of neat because you would be sort of unrecognizable but have this cool, like, cameo in such an amazing franchise.
Paris Hilton. Wait, has anyone seen Repo Man?
I haven't, but I want to.
Yeah, so Paris Hilton actually plays a character that's obsessed with plastic surgery.
How is she as an actress?
A couple of actors have poked fun at that. Like, Joan Rivers played herself obsessed with plastic surgery on Nip Tuck, and I think Lisa Rinna has also played. And Lisa Rinna is maybe more in the age I could see for Tigris. Like, she's one with like really plumped up lips, and she always like is pretty candid about the fact that she had plastic surgery, and she's played those kinds of characters that lampoon that. So maybe it's someone who like has a good enough sense of humor about it, or Melissa Rivers. She's young enough.
And that's a good point about Tigris' age, because I definitely think, I mean, I don't even think the Rebel Wilson rumor, I don't even know if that's even valid, but I think she's way too young for Tigris, because Tigris is someone who had a career as a stylist, and it's kind of implied that she's so known and recognizable that Katniss even knew who she was. So I'm guessing she was a stylist for quite some time. So I think definitely like 40s or 50s would probably be a more appropriate age. Any other thoughts on this? Adam? Could Adam play Tigris?
I could play Tigris. I wouldn't recommend myself for it, though. I think I'd have to spend a lot of time in the makeup room, to be honest, to look like that. But I don't know. I'll tell you, I like this idea of the gender-neutral aspect, and I think this would take interviews to a whole new level. It would be very interesting, but I honestly would be very surprised if it wasn't a woman playing the role, just because of I'm not saying that you couldn't have a man play it, but I just think that would be unlikely to happen. Let me put it that way. But I think it's, as fan casting, there are no rules. So I say nominate whoever you want, by gender, by race, anything.
Okay, so let's look at some listener comments. So this, I have to mention this first, even though I already read her comment about Annie. So JJ also said, as for Tigris, any great character actress, please. It could be a fun role that would only take a couple days to shoot. A lot of great possibilities here. And she linked to the Internet Movie Database, and it's a list of the top 50 great character actresses. And number 6 on the list is Jennifer Coolidge, and I think she would be really great in this.
Yes.
I would never have thought of that. So if you don't know who Jennifer Coolidge is, I'm trying to think of like recognizable roles. I mean, she was in Legally Blonde as the hairstylist. What else was she in? American Pie.
She was Stifler's mom.
She would be fabulous for Tigris.
I can't think of other roles she's been in, but
that's the only thing. That would be hilarious.
I know, and that might be the wrong approach. I should also say number 2 on this list is Melissa Leo, and I kind of think that would be amazing. I don't know if she would do it, but I think Melissa Leo would be really good at taking the comedic edge off and making it kind of more of a sad story. And Jane Lynch is also on this list, so now I'm picturing Jane Lynch as Tigris, which I think could be. But again, see, it would be too funny.
Yeah. I feel like she's another one that needs to be kind of pathetic.
Christine Baranski is on this list.
She needs to be somebody that like the Capitol has destroyed, basically. So she needs to be very sad.
Okay, let's read a couple of other listener comments about Tigris. This is from District 11 Fruit Ninja. I never gave much thought to Tigris's casting, but since her role in the film will probably be limited as it is in the books, I think it would be nice to have maybe a special appearance by a very established actress like Kate Winslet or even Halle Berry.